Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Team Fortress TV for week 2 of ETF2L's Premiership Division game between Elektro and Ascent.EU. My name is Lucky, and tonight I'm joined by ArchRhythm on production, and by my side is my beautiful Danish delight of a co-caster, is Beta. How's it going, man?
Oh, I'm doing good. I think tonight's going to be a barn burner, and I can't think of a better person to have in here with me to cast it. It's going to be so much fun, dude.
Oh, it's going to be great. Of course, we've got the two god squads of Premiership together, battling it out to see if they can take some points on the board. But both of them have sort of been stumped at the post kind of early on, Beta. How are you feeling about both these teams?
I feel like Ascent have... Like, they're going to be pretty good, and then I think they're going to be battling with Egg, and then it's just going to be a matter of can Aura Electro continue their good form last season. I always underrate Aura, and I'm just going to continue to do that. That's just the thing I do. I underrate Aura every single season, and then they will surprise me. Just do it again, boys. How hard can it be? I think this is going to be a really good game just to show at what kind of level Aura Electro is actually at.
Yeah, of course. I believe the same thing because we saw Elektro last season. They gave up a pretty good fight against Ascent.EU, but Ascent.EU came in pretty clutch. I'd say they went really ham in the grand finals last season, but coming in this season with their roster of Domo on the medic class, Lucas Stank on the demo class, Pappy on pocket soldier, Gink on the Roman class, the scouts of Thomas and Classy. So keeping mainly the core roster, but swapping Seeds and Domo around. So Domo coming back from his hiatus in Div 2, I believe it was on the scout class, and a little bit of time in Div 1 as well. So he's sort of coming back from that and changing up entirely from being a Premiership demo to a Premiership medic. And I've got to say, he did perform very well in his first official, but first official jitters for Ascent.EU because they managed to draw against 6. They actually dropped a map.
Yeah, they didn't even get a draw. I guess it was kind of a draw, but yeah, just the fact that they lost that is shocking to me because 6 should be at the bottom of the table, just as far as my predictions go before the season, and the fact that they dropped to them, that's kind of shocking. But then again, we often do see Ascent teams drop maps early on in the season. I don't know why that is. That's just kind of a thing, right? The AMS Ascent team that lost early in the season as well. I don't know, actually to Aura Electro.
Yeah.
Maybe Aura Electro are just the better squad because they've just been playing together for longer.
Potentially, but you did say before the match in their pre-scrims, neither team were looking that hot on Gullywash. Of course, our first map is Gullywash, and then our second map, I believe, is Sunshine. And I do love me some Sunshine Beta. I'm gonna be brutally honest. I love Sunshine, but Electro going to quickly run down that roster for you before we get underway, as we've got loads of players in the server. We've got Nevo and Kunu on the scout classes, Azunas and Amarok on the soldiers, the demo man of Eames and Shock with a second season in Prem, did very well in his first season of Prem, managing to get that silver medal in his first season of Premiership, which is absolutely amazing, making up the roster of Electro. Very epic squad. Love the scouts, love the soldiers. Eames has those big brain main calls, Giganta Brain as I like to call him, and Shock as well with his mechanically gifted medic. I believe this is a team to be reckoned with.
Absolutely, and it's almost the same team that they've had every season, right? Like I think they swapped out Yeehaw for Kunu, and then they swapped out Shock for whoever medic they had. I can't remember who used to play medic, but Ascent is almost in the same position, and that is that we have Domo in on medic instead of Connor. And then otherwise the roster looks almost the same as it did before. So we have Lucas, the tank, on Demo Man, probably the best demo in Europe. And then we have Poppy, probably the best pocket in Europe. And then we have Gink, the best demo in the world, according to Wondom, which makes no sense. And then we have Classy and Thomas on scouts. And I believe Classy is the roaming scout and Thomas is the pocket one. But that has always been the big weak spot to me for Ascent. Was the scout roster. They're two very young scouts that haven't had that much experience, but they've been able to hang with everyone else. So I can't wait to see what's gonna happen there.
Yeah,
keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, they do have some... their scouts may be new, but, I mean, Tomas is absolutely raking it in the season with the frags. He's gone from strength to strength. He did pop up in the original Feint Gaming roster, did really well in Div 1, and then popped into Prem and just started owning in Prem as well, and quickly rise through the ranks, as we remember him on that Yak team with with I think it was Torret sucking toes and Tomas and Yak, that team that died within like a week, and then suddenly he's at the top of Prem. So I mean, like this guy is obviously a force to be reckoned with. Classy, absolutely epic scout as well. I believe that he's a big top fragger. But at the end of the day, in my notes, I have written down, as per usual, whenever I see Gink in a game, is that Gink is insane. This man is nuts. He's honestly, in my opinion, the best player in Premiership.
He is the X factor for sure, right? Like he will do a lot of really weird stuff that will throw people off, and he's gonna hit a lot of shots while he does it. So he's gonna go sniper, probably hit you, and he's gonna probably drop your medic. He's gonna sneak behind you, jump in, drop your medic. Basically, everything he does is probably gonna end with you dropping your medic. That's a very likely scenario for him. Oh, yeah, definitely keep your eyes up on him. He has had big performances on Gullywash before. I can't remember anything specifically on Sunshine, but, you know, it's only a map. It's not going to change too much. So I'm looking forward to that, to see what we're going to get. But we're going to start with Gullywash, the best map in Team Fortress 2. This is my favorite map.
Tell me why. Why is it your favorite map, Beta? Tell me. Tell me right now.
It's so small and nice. And like, you can cut corners. You can play super aggressively. You can slow down the map. You can basically do whatever you want on it. Like, the map will just bend to your will. And if you have a playstyle, you can make it conform to that. And that's really rare. A playstyle or like a map can fit several different playstyles. And it's also not the worst soldier map ever. There's like really good areas for soldier. Like both of these chokes are in Big Door. They're pretty good soldier areas. And also there's all the indoors stuff that's really kind of enclosed and nice for soldier. And at the same time, it's still fun to play. And the last point is pretty fun because you can like put a ton of pressure into water and stuff. So you can really spread things out and have a ton of attention, and it can make for a very fast-paced game, or you can just slow it down as well. You can play whatever way you want, and that's great.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, you've got all these different playstyles, and speaking of the different playstyles between these teams, we have Lucas Stank. I always say it comes down to the demo men for Gullywash, and it seems to work out so far. I've predicted the slightly better demo man, not saying the other one's bad, just saying one is slightly better than the other. And that is that I think Lucas Stank is a better DM heavy, less brainy Eames. So basically, what I'm trying to say is Lucas Stank is going to do tons of damage, and my prediction for this game is going to be that Ascent.EU is going to win it. But I think if Elektro can slow the game down, it's going to be I don't know. It could be a close game. I mean, Ascent didn't look so hot in their last scrim, but also Elektro didn't look so hot against Egg in their official. Because they actually lost to them. So, any predictions from you on what this game is going to entail?
I would also predict that Elektro is going to lose. They did look better in their first match. They played against Egg, which is definitely like a stronger team than Six. So, if you were to just look at it logically by results, I would definitely favor Elektro, but I do think that the Ascent team is slightly better. I almost tend to feel like they almost got an upgrade over Connor with their medic, and then otherwise they just have the same roster. And having a stable roster is super underrated. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself as a team, and it's just going to be really good for you. And Domo, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it clearly showed with Seven. I mean, they kept the same roster for ages, and they just pounded. And it's the same for Tech and NA, keeping the same roster. Clearly, just raking in those wins still, left, right, and center, nailing those gold medals, all that sweet prize money, and the first place, which we all do it for at the end of the day. It's not about the money; it's about the passion and the pride for these players. So I'm super excited to see what happens in this game, actually, like between these teams. But I do agree with you that Egg, potentially the better team between the teams of Six and Egg. Egg obviously rocking with Tiger, and I'm a big Tiger fanboy. He's obviously coming from Seven. He's not going to give up those gold medals easily. This boy has more gold medals than most of these players in these servers combined when he was playing with Seven. And now that he's on Egg, bringing forward that big boomer roster with D-Maul and Josh, you can tell me again how bad that team might be, but anyone who's a hater, I guess, because I've had some haters tell me that team's not good, and I deny it entirely, because that team's amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely a case of I will reject your reality and substitute it with my own. That team is good. Like, very obviously. Like, just on paper, that team's the best in Prem, in my opinion. And just before we saw anything, I predicted that team to win, and I'm still holding on to that. But yeah, we are about to go live here, and I lied. They're not going live at all.
They're debating us, Peter. How dare they?
Yeah, I don't know. How could they? It made us look silly. Oh well, it's not going to be the first time. But we don't need help looking silly. You know?
We don't need any help. One thing to mention is that some of the UK players may be defeated by wind in the middle of this game. The Storm Kiara is raging on for anyone who is a Brit, and it's funny to see England die to wind.
Oh yeah, you're used to that, right?
Yeah, fainting to win. Anyway, we are going live with our game between Ascent.EU and Elektro, so welcome back everyone to week number 2 of the Premiership Division for ETF2L's Season 35. My name is Lucky and I'm joined by Beta as my co-caster, and we are making our way into this first mid. Lucas Stank getting off a bunch of pills early on. Shock catches the pipe really early on, gets really damaged, but it looks like we are getting some aggression out. The Soldier's nice and early on. Eames getting down to half HP, but the Soldier Bomb's coming out. Both Soldiers getting cleaned up immediately. That's Azunas and Amrock biting the dust, but we are seeing the gank from Ayek Gink as he comes in and takes down one with the assistance of Lucas Stank. Thomas is on the chase onto Eames, but is playing rather conservatively. But Lucas Stank is in onto Shock, tons of damage onto him. But it looks like Kuno's there with the cleanup as Kuno is hitting all of the shots, gets a lovely arrow from Shock. But is eventually going to get pistol whipped down and arrowed actually by Domo. And that's going to be a frag towards them. Even Uber's Beater at the end of this mid.
Yeah, Shock managing to get out there and even hit some nice arrows there onto Kuno. That definitely slowed everything down for Ascent. So we're going to have an Uber. Just even Uber situation right here. I don't think that they're going to push in. I think it's just going to be a bunch of spam. We actually see Classy in the water now as well. But that mid was just decided entirely on the two soldiers both bombing into the banana area and getting shut down immediately. They tried to get into the window, I think. They just kind of got stuck in there. So scout on the point while soldiers jump in. There's a sentry gun that's actually protecting the medic pretty well there. So Shock will survive as soon as it goes down in the chaos. But overall, that was a really nice hold there from Elektro, so they dodged that, but look at how much time actually came into the last point.
Yeah, I mean, that is a beautiful sack attempt right there, because running a player up onto water to get that point distraction while Shock is trying to get his Uber and not get forced at the same time takes a lot of chaos and team coordination in order to actually survive those attempts. So very well played from Elektro to defend that one. Nevo now sitting on the engineer class. Of course, he's been playing more engineer this season than he has been playing any other class, because I swear to God, Elektro have been holding last like nobody else. And they just seem to have this impenetrable defenses that they set up, you know. Getting the pyro class, getting the engineer class, it's a tough one to break, so it's going to be interesting to see how Ascent decide they're going to do this one, as they are now spamming out this sentry gun Beta. Yeah,
and they've got Classy in water as well. There is a soldier down there as well, Amarok. Looks like he realizes that he needs to be down there, because if a scout runs up and does the same thing as before, like the point is just gonna end up being capped. So they need to have a soldier down there, so they could actually just decide to rush him out. Lucas doing a ton of spamming onto the sentry gun with the help of Gink, but so far not able to get it. And just as I say that, they do get it, because Nevo actually died to the spam there. That means that the sentry gun is down. The scout is out of the water, but I am still expecting them to try and go for it again. Yeah, there we go. Classy, he's in position. And here comes the soldiers, I think.
Yeah, Pappy is just doing a bit of space creating as he comes in here. As you do see, Azunas actually getting taken down. Classy gets cleaned up as well, though, as we are now getting the respawn, as Nevo is back on the scout class instead of the engineer class, as there is a lot of pressure actually on towards this last point. Ascent are just not really letting this sort of aggression up.
No,
they are holding
to jump in.
Oh, Gink, no, as he now bombs in, double soldier bombs, does get the force into Shock. But that is going to be 2 soldiers going down. That is 3 down for Ascent as they get 1 spawner. But Thomas and Lucas Stank defending the shutter valiantly, but Shock gets insanely low, but does manage to make it out of the shutter there. As Kuno over-aggresses, gets caught up with stickies. Amrock getting low now as well, as he gets a lovely pipe from Lucas Stank there, but Thomas is forcing ahead with his medic up his bum. And it looks like they're now going to be heading in towards this lobby area for a potential Uber charge push. And Lucas and the rest of his team getting healed up, ready for this push. And it looks like it is going to be a shutter Uber. It appears they are now popping directly through the shutter. Essentially going on the low ground, actually, the level 2. They haven't quite spotted out as they do finally take it down. That's going to be Thomas running into water. Eames actually kills himself there. Heavy out on the right shutter, but the soldier's getting cleaned up outside. Kuno on the left shutter. Shock now building up a Uber at 80% Uber currently. But it looks like they are just going directly for the point. The Heavy's not going to get there in time, but Kuno might get there. No pittance for them, unfortunately, as they do lose the first round with this Ascent 1-0.
A pretty good last hold, considering there was an Uber disadvantage push there. They managed to slow them down a lot. They had to basically stack the water, took down a pretty big fight there where there were no Uber. They kind of won that, but then eventually they just had too many players stuck in spawn, They were unable to get onto the point in time, and good recognition there from Ascent to see there were no stickies on it and too many players in spawn, and to get it first round, 1-0.
Indeed, very well played from them, but it looks like Azunis of the world-class nut gets immediately fragged at the start of this mid. We've got Gink sitting in that drop-down. Beautiful coordination here, but Soldier bombs. Soldier up for a drop-down, tons of damage in the choke point. Looks like Amarok's going to go down as well, but there's going to be frags getting traded out here, 2 for 2 on this mid-fight, but the damage was there from Ascent. Looks like they are going to be claiming this mid-point.
A really good job of them to just move across there. There was a pretty good soldier bomb in. He actually got denied pretty heavily, but just the fact that he did a ton of damage and the rest of the team walked across the point very aggressively meant that as soon as the Elektro stabilized, they were already out of the choke and they just couldn't get back in because that was just stickied up by Lucas. So that's going to be like a positional mid loss. They kept the medic alive. They kept most of the players alive. They just lost due to positioning there. So now we have this big door stalemate, and usually what we see here is that people try to go into big door, but that has been stickied up right now by Eames, and I don't know if they realize. Okay, they do realize. They've spotted. They're like crouching in the corner, but we have seen the medic being rotated into big door to see if they can perhaps make some sort of move down there.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they can get past these stickies, 2 players have actually gotten past the scout, so all those stickies are going to get cleared. Eames does indeed get the ones he does have towards the choke area, leaving the choke free for penetration, but Amarok going back for a buff as well. Pappy now spotting out as well. Looks like he's going to get aggressive in this choke. He's in a good position to go for some kind of bomb, but decides he's going to back off after Gink goes down to his sack. On towards Shock, doesn't find anything. And this is going to leave Elektro in a spot where they can counter-sack themselves, as they are heading towards big door, it would seem, to see if they can get an angle.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult for soldiers to get in there and get a good medic bomb from big door. Like, you can go for some sort of like big wall jump, but like they're gonna have vision of you the entire time. So usually you're better off trying to get a sack in through choke. But you know the big door can serve as a distraction for that. But as it turns out, they were unable to find any kind of window from Ascent. So Ascent doing a really good job of just locking down every choke really well right now, even when they're down a man or two. And that's definitely been the biggest part of their success right now. So Thomas makes his way through the sticky trap, does his best to clear that out. It looks like he has succeeded in doing that. So the big door will be more open now, and you could potentially run a scout behind lines, I think.
Potentially indeed. So do you see Pappy just coming through the choke, and Nevo scatterguns him into the ground. Shot getting low though from the pressure from Big Door, and it's going to force him back to the little pack. And it's going to sort of halt the aggression from Elektro there. They decided not to really do anything as soon as Shock took too much damage. But it looks like they were going to try and do the same thing again, though, heading towards Big Door to see if they can't get some aggression going. But I mean, they're just not taking this advantage that they have. They're just sitting there and waiting for the spawns to come back, and unfortunately being left in the same position. And eventually you got to ask yourself, how long does it take until Elektro breaks?
Yeah, you know, if they don't get any good counter sacks in whenever Ascent goes for a play, then it's just literally a matter of time, because if they're not dangerous on the repushes, then they're just not dangerous, and they don't punish Ascent for it. Okay, we actually do see Classy run behind lines. This is like the classic scout play, where you just go behind lines, and then at some point you can just run out through a shutter door and maybe like pick off that demo man or go up top and just warp the entire team out of position. We do have 2 players chasing him right now, a soldier and a scout. So far he's evading them expertly. He has been spotted once again. Here comes the scout in from behind him. Looks like he's gonna get taken down. He's taking like no damage.
He actually wins it, takes him down, but 2 frags on the other side, as there was Lucas Tank getting taken out in the backline there, as I wasn't paying attention to the main action, but Classy somehow plays Tom and Jerry and manages to win that one. But looks like Pappy and Domo get separated, and that is going to be Pappy just getting absolutely perished, and Elektro finally taking some kills and actually managing to get something happening here, as Ascent unfortunately dropped a bunch of players. But Cap time coming out towards mid now, but forward spawn is coming out from Ascent. It's going to be a huge advantage with Gink in the forward spawn, just putting that sniper pressure down towards that choke, as Shock peeks his head out and only just misses that headshot, but Shock now pops out the Zuba really early, and it looks like Domo is now going to pop out his in return. This is going to be a much better Uber from the side of Ascent, as they are heading in towards Shock, and they might be able to find this frag, as they are just running in with the scout class. Tons of damage onto Shock, but he leaps onto the low ground, Stank getting low as well, and that's going to be Pappy and Co really weak in the choke point, but Eames now backing off, with the scout pressure is there. Nevo actually pressuring really hard into Thomas, as Thomas eats a pipe and goes down. And that is going to be Ascent taking this point, however, with Kunu up on the forward spawn.
And there's a soldier behind lines. He's going to come in here for big door. Does that big jump, but as I mentioned earlier, it's very difficult to actually get in there in time. But the second soldier has come in as well. Medic is dodging the best he can. Like, actually, Domo is the only person that's actually healthy here. Everyone else is just in the red. But looks like he's done a good job of actually healing them back up. So, a nice try there by Elektro. They are behind. They do need to make some sort of plays here. Come back in. But now this Gink Sniper is going to be very dangerous. He's going to have free roam for quite a while until spawners come back up for Elektro, and they are just taking over all of this upper lobby now, and it's just going to be a matter of can Gink find the angle to get the picks that he wants, and he's going to have time to do so because Ascent, they're ahead 1-0. It's even Ubers. Oh, Gink goes for the hero shot, gets taken down.
Indeed, but no sentry gun yet. I believe that is going to be Kuno going back to swap classes as he actually goes onto the sniper class. So opting to go, as Eeply would say, monkey class, as we do hit a pause.
Yep, looks like it. So yeah, no idea what that's about, but we'll figure it out at some point. But yeah, we do see the push out here. There's like a tiny sticky trap in lobby with 2 stickies. That's not going to kill anyone. Like, unless they just like jump up to kiss it, they're not going to get taken down by that sticky trap.
Many of I had a time where I've jumped into a sticky trap on a wall that shouldn't have killed me, that has, because I decided I'd jump into them.
I mean, you jump into the sticky trap and then it just kills you with the crater, right? That's the classic.
Yeah, the classic.
and sometimes you don't even get he doesn't even get the assist on it, or like it doesn't show up that he killed. It just shows that you died to fall damage. So you just left wondering what the hell just happened to me, because you were just jumping around and all of a sudden you're just dead and there's no indication of what killed you. I don't think that's going to happen here. We see as soon as he's kind of trying to get into position for some sort of sack, but he's going to be jumping into these 2 perfectly positioned scouts, just like 1 to each side, just happily waiting to embrace him as he jumps in there, tries to get the shock. Probably not going to happen.
The scout meat grinder, as we like to call it. But there's no actual way I can see of Elektro making this work. I mean, they have a sniper and a pyro and the medic really far back with no scout to run them upriver. And to me, that just spells we're not making it upriver. All of our explosive classes are in lobby. They're going to try and go out the shutter and get absolutely munched by Lucas Stank and the scouts as soon as they try and get out there.
Is Lucas jumping back to get more ammo, though?
Right. I don't know. He might. It looks like he is, which means it could open up an opportunity. But they don't know that.
Yeah, they don't know that. Right? Like, there's obviously going to be stickies above the shutter doors. That's basically the information that Elektro is going to be working on, right? So they're going to be kind of slow to get out the door. But I think the best hope here for Elektro is that the pyro, the medic, and the sniper, they make their way up through Riverside, and then the sniper gets a pick, and then you can open things up from there. Like, if he snipes a scout and just takes him down, that could definitely help things out.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Mega Brain strat would just be to, as soon as you get ammo on Lucas Tank and you see the sniper and the pyro come at river, as long, if they get aggressive, you just peg it in through the shutter with an uber charge, kill Eames, and run directly to last.
That would be pretty pretty interesting.
Because, I mean, the medic's going to be in river without a scout. The chances of him getting back to last in time are very slim.
Yeah, indeed. Just, again, the question is, like, TF2 is a game of incomplete information. There's a lot you don't know about it, right? So you don't know that he doesn't have a scout with him. Like, it's going to take a while before you realize, oh crap, he's slow. This medic is running at normal speed. Can we actually capitalize on that?
Yeah, it's if they know.
Yeah. I'm kind of noticing that nobody's watching lower right now for Elektro, so like, Scout can run in there.
Yeah, I think Eames will rotate down, you know. Eames is going to, he's going to sticky up the show. He's already got 1 sticky on it. He's going to sticky that, and he's going to just rotate, put a few stickies on lower, and he's just going to sit there.
Yeah,
that's the play, right?
Yeah, that's usually what Demo does when in these push-outs. He just, like, stickies shutter and lower so that nobody can run behind and backcap you. Then everyone else can go have fun outside.
Everyone can play outside together in peace.
Yeah. Not Demo Man. Not the Scottish Cyclops. He can just stay inside and be a freak.
I mean, the Scots enjoy being indoors more because the Scottish weather at the minute is apparently snow. So, I mean, Storm Ciara is hitting the entire UK country hard.
Yeah. Like, it's been pretty heavy weather here in Denmark. I don't think it's quite been a storm. I want to say that yesterday we had like storm tides, like strength winds, but like right before we went live, I had like the biggest and weirdest lightning happen. So it was like a lightning that just lit everything up for like 2 seconds straight. Like normally it's just a flash of light, but this was like a really protracted long light, and then there was like an immediate thunder.
The light before death.
I know it looked very. I was like, is this a car? But it was very obviously not a car because it was too bright and it was too like high in the sky, so to speak. So it was like the weirdest lightning I've ever seen.
Could have been several strokes of lightning. You know, arcing through the clouds would have been beautiful.
I'm sure, but that would require me to go outside in the rain. I'm not doing that.
Yep. I mean, no one really wants to go outside in this weather. I mean, it's cold.
I mean, we're gamers. We don't want to go out, period. Yeah. It doesn't help that it's raining.
Oh, God, yeah. Anyway, for those of you who have just joined us, we are currently in a pause between Ascent.EU and Elektro, two of the teams that have been making their way into the season. Neither with particularly strong starts, but looking forward to seeing how these teams do. 1-0 currently to Ascent. We still believe that Ascent.EU are going to be the ones to take this one home for 6 points on the board, potentially, and I'm just praying that Gink does more action. That's my hope.
I mean, he has an opportunity right now. He just died on Sniper, so he can come back as whatever he wants. He can go heavy, he can go pyro. There's like actually a ton of off-classes that are viable on Gullywash because like you can go pyro into the water, and that's super dangerous because you can just blow everything off.
Oh, I love that strat.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's pretty rare. I'm not saying that it's likely that we're going to see that, but you can do everything. You can go heavy, and you can just do a normal push, and then the heavy just comes in fully buffed up on the balcony and just shoots everything down while everyone else is out of ammo. So that's viable. Sniper is obviously viable. Spy is obviously viable. Like I don't think you can go offensive NG. That doesn't work very well. I tried to make it work.
Actually, I'm gonna contradict you there and just say that Hammer Ham has been pioneering the strategy of engineer, right? For good reason. When you've got this stalemate where you're sacking into last right, all you do set up a teleporter for your player, and then at the spawn, and then you teleport him right back as soon as he spawns, so he's there for the fight in case they try and counter stack. Mini sentry on the high ground to totally deny whatever bomb comes out. Absolute genius.
My strat, what I always tried to do was that I would you obviously get the teleporter. That's kind of the point of an aggressive engineer, to just have infinite sacks and you can just lemmings them over and over again. It's kind of like the old gravel pit strats. But I would always go for the level 3 sentry, and then my goal would always be to get it at the shutter door, to sneak it in there, and then I can just open the shutter door and it will just mow everything down. But you need an unbelievable amount of distraction for that to work. Like they're gonna see you just walk in there through the window, right? And it's probably sticky to begin with, but it needs to not be sticky. It needs to be like it's giant fight, so they don't watch you walk through the glass. Then you need to put up the sentry gun so that you're kind of standing behind the shutter door and they can't see you. And then the fight is kind of almost over, and then you just open up the door and you just have like this giant sentry killing everything on the right side.
Hammer, I see you in chat, boy. Make sure you're practicing this in your scrims, please. I want to see demos. I want to see you try this sentry gun in the shutter door, please. Thank you very much. Anyway, while we have a moment to talk about it, we do have Copenhagen Games coming up in the future. It's in April, early April, and there are a couple teams that are fundraising to actually make it to the event, as far as I'm aware. And one of those teams is actually Elektro. So hopefully, you guys, if you've got a bit of spare cash after payday, please fling it to Elektro's way so they can have a fun time at LAN getting really drunk. And the Frenchies also, I believe, are fundraising, so go and check them out as well. Try and chuck them some money, get them there as well. Absolutely fantastic. But really looking forward to Copenhagen. Should be a really, really good event. Got some epic people going. Should be an absolute laugh for everyone involved.
Yeah, Copenhagen Games have just been consistently great. We have finally unpaused here, so I'm going to be watching Kuno in Riverside here. So Lucas, he looks like he just jumped up top. He wasn't going for the ammo, so he is fully stocked. But we do see the sniper in a pretty good position. So there we go.
Ooh, okay, so not expecting that at all. Like you said, a game of misinformation. That's Kunu finding the headshot to Lucas Tang, but as soon as getting low as well, does get cleaned up by Tomas. And that's going to be the Pyro moving forwards, actually, as he is just causing so much havoc here, as he's just spraying flames and ice skating around everywhere, as he does get a flare kill onto Gink. Nevo, the man with the plan, finds the frag, making space for a team. Headshot out as well now onto Pappy as he's running away with the escape plan. Thomas getting pressured heavily. Classy just trying to get in that lower shot, but not finding anything. Kunu still trying to go for those headshots. Lucas Tank eating a reflect rocket as Amarok comes into the choke, making space for his team. And this might be a successful push out from the side of Elektro. They are now getting cap time, but it's going to be Gink on the spy class heading towards that shutter as he might try and get in. He does get in through the shutter. He's in behind Eames. He might in fact just go straight to last. He's actually going to last. Gink is going to last. Gink is insane.
Oh, he could have just capped, but he's going for the sniper.
He's jumping behind the sniper right now, and for some reason is sitting in room just dies. Oh, why?
Soda's in on the medic though. Oh, that's a really nice survey from Shock. Shock is so weak. I think he's gonna have to pop. There we go. Finally does it do it. So Ascent, they get the Uber Force out, but everyone else died. It looks like Lucas is currently not in the game. There we go. He has rejoined. So that was the cause of the pause. And that's going to be a nice second cap here, but it is an Uber advantage for Ascent. It's going to be difficult to use it, I think.
Yeah, indeed, as they are now. Ascent are now making their way into Big Door, trying to get some space for the team, but Amarok is actually going to be caught inside of this point. He gets launched into the air, cleaned up in the air by Tomas. Could have been a beautiful air shot if it had landed, but Eames is now getting pressure on the shutter, and it looks like they are going to be making their way in towards last. Shock now actually finding his Uber, so even Ubers after that force as well. They built really well to get that one back. Level 3 sentry gun up for Nevo as they are popping this one through the shutter, and it's going to be Shock instantly counter-popping, and Ascent realize, oh shit, guess what? It's even Ubers now. We waited too long, and that's going to be Tomas going on to Eames. Doesn't find it as the sentry gun mows him down. That is going to be a one-man down for the side of Ascent. Let's see if they can make some more pyro action happen up in the river.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out really well for them before. Just the Elektro pushing out there with the pyro in Riverside. That worked out really well with the sniper. It's kind of almost pop strats where you just have like a pyro protecting your sniper. And you just like have both long range and short range fighting capabilities. But yeah, it looks like they're not going to push out here. Ubers are completely even. Ascent, they could go for a dot push. It's a pretty normal thing to do where you just kind of like you just go in as soon as you possibly can, and then you just hope that they didn't build properly. But they have actually just gone Riverside and taken down the center gun immediately. So that's really well done by them. And then now Gink has made it into water as well. Never mind, he's going to go for the suicide, it looks like.
What? He kills Azunis, and then the sentry gun goes down as well. Looks like they're pressuring really hard. Ton of damage being popped out here, but we are seeing the fronted Justice crits now available as two players getting taken down for the side of Ascent as they just run in and feed their lives away. And this is going to be a full-on retreat coming out from Lucas Stank, Pappy, and Domo. So they are now making their way back out. And Kunu is going to be pushing onto this high ground here as Amarok now going for the bomb. Is going to go really fast and high onto Domo's face. Woo. Domo does get forced. Beautiful bomb from Amarok.
He got out as well.
Yeah, got out, but counterpop from Shock though as well. A bit of a weird pop, was full HP, didn't really need to use it, but nonetheless going to be taking the second point, but may have given up crucial presence now as Pappy now jumping in onto Azunis. Lands an insane air shot, and Azunis craters. Insane gameplay from Pappy. Well played from him. Amarok now getting on top of the rest of the team. Lucas Stack with an epic pipe. Domo with an epic arrow. And this is going to be a total cleanup from the side of Ascent. Absolutely incredible gameplay coming out from them. Mode pwn indeed, Pappy. As they are now heading in towards the last, capping up this second point. And it's going to be Shock on last as well. And Kunu also eating a ton of damage. And this is going to be them giving up this point. Unfortunately, Stickies are down, but they are seeing the cleanup now from the soldiers bombing in. And it is going to be an absolute nuke fest coming out. Amarok taking tons of damage. Just going to take down Nevo now, eating damage as well. But it is going to be a good defense from Eames as he is there on the point. Pappy now the center of attention for Nevo, but he does backtrack into the spawn. Eames now eating damage, getting pressured really heavily. Demo on point. That is going to be the cap coming out from the side of Ascent. Very messy towards the end, but epic victory royale.
Yeah, just they got a ton of time onto the point at the very early stages of that fight, and that eventually just caused everyone to just have to kind of dive onto the point and take a ton of damage from Lucas. And Lucas eventually managed to get in there. Eames did a really good job. He had like a really nice pipes and sticky combinations, just like insta-deaded people. Really nice hold there, but not quite enough.
Indeed, we are now coming into the third mid, and it looks like we're going to see a high bomb immediately from Amrock. Nice start from Domo, though. Straight on top of the sheet metal there, as he does take a ton of damage, though. Azunis is now actually pressuring really hard. Shock gets taken down by Gink as well in the backlines, but Domo is still surviving with Tomas at Big Door. Nevo now getting pressured heavily. Does get taken down there by Tomas the Scattergun. That is going to be 2 players for the side of Aurora Electro left in the opposite side of the choke. But let's see if they can make anything happen here as both players in behind. Kunu now going in with Azunis. Azunis gets cleaned up immediately. There's only half HP coming into this one, but Kunu is also getting on top of Domo, but the scattergun from Tomas just cleans him up there. Beautiful gameplay.
That mid was a complete disaster from Aura Electro. Eames got jumped immediately by 2 players. He was completely alone, and then both of those 2 players went behind lines, and then for some reason Shock and a scout just still went up through Banana. So they just got easily pincered by those 2 players coming in from choke behind them, and then they just lost the mid after that. So very bad mid there, but as this Uber comes in, they're going to just lock everyone in spawn. The demo man is in water, and Eames is still not being contested. So this might just actually be an unlikely hold, but here comes Gink from the water side. Looks like somehow Eames has actually walked back out here and survived. Oh, just as I say that, he goes down, and now the soldiers on the point. It'll be the last hurrah for this heavy. Not going to be quite able to make it. Second soldier comes in, not going to be enough. 3-0 there. That was quite the convincing round from Ascent.
Yeah, indeed. Eames was not getting protected very well in water there, as he did have the scout running up on him and the soldier forcing him out as well. So he did actually have to just try and escape water there. Otherwise, he would have just perished immediately. So it was kind of I see his reasoning for running out of water there, but he did indeed feed his life away as he jumped on top of a sticky bomb there, trying to make himself survive. But 3-0 now to Ascent, looking very strong on this Gullywash map, and it is going to be in the next bit coming out. Immediate frags getting traded, but Eames, the big frag, getting taken down. Gink finding that frag, but Pappy also finding a frag onto Kuno as well. The scout class going down, does find another frag onto Nevo as well, and he is going to find a third. Azuna's getting taken down as well. Pappy going on an absolute killing spree. This man cannot be stopped, and we are now chasing as well. Amrock in lobby taking a 1v1 with Tomas, Classy even, and Classy finds the pistol kill onto Amrock. That is going to be a late death from him. And that could actually cost them in the end, BTR, as they are now heading towards last as well. They are playing Supercharged Fortress 2.
Yeah, they just they're looking like a freight train right now. Or Alexa, they really need to compose themselves and try to see if they can find some way to come back into this. They have no one in the water right now, so they're all bunched up near spawn, and this Uber is about to come in right now. And here we go on the right side. Sendergun has gone down. Scout now is on the point. Does get deaded on. But here comes the second soldier in the water. Actually, there's a soldier to contest him, and it's kind of weird how Electro, they're just getting away with having everyone inside spawn, basically.
Oh, Gink on the point! Oh my god, Gink!
Wow.
He finds 2 direct rockets to take down 2, and then he just caps it out by throwing a player off the point and air-shotting him with a crit. That was incredible. That's 4-0 to the side of Ascent. Excellent gameplay there from the soldiers of Ascent. These guys are really owning today, Beta.
Yeah, they're definitely looking like the stronger team right now. But, like, Electro, they almost held it. Like, Electro's last defense are really good. It was only, like, this clutch play from Gink that really made it out. Let's see if we can get the Eames on another mid here. He's gotten 2 mids in a row.
Yeah, let's see what happens to him. But it looks like he's being defended rather nicely now. 2 scouts surrounding him, but we have got Gink in the lower area. Has not been spotted despite Amrock being waiting on that low ground. Is now walking up Banana towards him. But we are seeing the bomb now from Gink as we are seeing him come up through drop down. But Domo is now getting pincered by Amrock. Amrock getting tons of pressure. Domo does in fact go down. But Shock is insanely low as well, getting pressured by Lucas Tank. But Tomas is actually out the fight. So no more pressure coming in towards Shock. And Shock is now just going to drop down towards Big Door and start making their way around to a bit of safety towards that pack. As Tomas now coming in on the mid with the winger, trying to get on that high ground, does in fact fail the jump as he gets 2 shot by Kunu, and that's going to be the end of it.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to stay alive if you actually make your jumps and get on top of the point. So, a bit unfortunate they're failing the jump. Not that impactful overall in the grand scheme of the mid. I still found it really odd that Eames at the end of that mid, he was just completely alone in Big Door. He was like trying to push up to the enemy choke, and he was just completely alone. He just got rushed by a scout. So, still some weird stuff going on with Eames, but I mean, they did a good job of just keeping him alive at the beginning of that.
Indeed, we are now seeing the decrease of power of Thomas, but Thomas just dies immediately there as Elektro comes in with a very good push so far. But Lucas Stank uncontested in the water, and it looks like we've got one more player out there, and it's going to be Gink dealing tons of damage to Azunis. And looks like he is insanely low now, but the Uber charge coming out from Domo as he actually drops Classy, unfortunately, there. But Pappy now leading this Uber, tons of weak players on the side of Elektro. Shock getting forced out the fight there, but we have got players leaping onto this point, but it is going to be a capture from Elektro. 4-1 and coming in clutch with a round, so maybe Elektro is showing some fight with 9 minutes left.
Yeah, let's hope this is the beginning of them just getting warmed up and really finding their groove and figuring out how to counter this team. I'm actually surprised that they succeeded with that push, because Lucas was just uncontested in water for so long that they just never got any time onto the point. It wasn't until they got like a scout in his face and he had to be flashed and stuff like they actually won this out.
Indeed, as we are now coming into our 6th mid of the game. Airshot coming out immediately there from Azunis. Definitely firing off in this game, but Gink now getting pressure towards Big Door. Does get cleaned up by Azunis. He needs a rocket in the back. Eames getting knocked to the low ground. This could spell disaster for him. He does get taken down. There's a Domo man down for the side of Elektro. Domo now getting pincer maneuvered by a bunch of bombers, and we've now got 2 scouts now trying to pincer him as well. Azunis firing off rockets towards him, just trying to clean him up. The arrow in the back from Domo to save his scout of Tomas. Not healing this time, but dealing the damage. As do see Kunu now trying to take a 1v1. Does kill off Classy, and is now just waiting in that elbow area to take the 1v1 with Classy, but Classy has the beam. Tomas has the beam as he is, getting arrowed now by Domo, and Domo puts the semicolon 3 in the chat.
That's a cat face. That's but yeah, of all the things that could have killed him there, it was kind of funny. Was the arrow, like any kind of little pot shot from the scattergun would have killed him there. Actually, you have a fight in Big Dog. Gink might have been caught out there, almost got jungled really well by that rocket, but he managed to limp his way out. Oh no, Domo drops to Amarok. I think he just jumped in very aggressively, just hit 2 perfect rockets on him, and it was just completely blind for Domo. So now, all of a sudden, Shock's going to be at a massive Uber advantage. He doesn't have it yet, but that was a huge bomb in there from Amarok.
Indeed, that was an epic bomb from him. Spamming from above to get that first damage, dropping down and landing the direct. Absolute beautiful gameplay. And now the pressure is, it's time for Elektro to strike. 7 minutes 40 left on the clock, and they need 3 rounds to draw it, or 5 rounds to take 3 points on this map. And it looks like they're not coming in. They do spot out the first sticky trap, but the second one's so craftily hidden. Loads of damage onto Shock, actually. The sticky's now getting cleaned up as they did get debt, but they do lose 2 of Gink and Classy both getting taken down. The push is now on from Shock and Eames as they're heading in towards Big Door. They find Lucas Stank as well with the sticky bombs. Eames and Azunis now pressuring up towards this upper area, but Eames taking tons of damage. Tomas actually commits for the frag, doesn't find it because the arrow comes out from Shock to save his life. There's tons of damage being dealt to Shock, but Shock just will not use this Uber. And this side they are getting aggressive once more. Only 3 players ready to push for the side of Elektro. Pappy actually in behind still, pressuring really hard onto this upper area. Pappy doing tons of damage, but does get cleaned up in the end. But this is just buying time now for Domo on the last point, Beta, as they're now making their way in towards last.
Yeah, he actually gets his Uber there, so deciding to just clean up Pappy there might have been a mistake. They could have probably just made their way in there and Ubered immediately. But as it was, they pick up Pappy. They're going to get a nice pick here, so Soda has made it into water. They're actually just going to Uber in here. This is an even Uber situation, but Lucas gets dropped. This is huge. Demo Man is so important for last holds. And here comes the counter Uber, obviously. But everyone else has made it out alive. There's a scout on the point, putting time onto it, and the Soda actually just clean up the cap. That was a really unfortunate hold there from Ascent. Lucas getting dropped from the Uber immediately just did so much damage to them, and that's going to mean that Elektro, they are definitely looking like the comeback kids right now. They are not willing to bow out of this match gracefully. They're going to fight to the bitter end here, Lucky.
Yeah, it's really good that they are actually putting up a fight here. Maybe they've read Ascent now and they understand what they need to do. Looks like Ascent now actually having to try and figure out Elektro all over again. We are seeing the dual bomb come out from both these soldiers from Elektro. Strikes a Domo. They do find that frag onto him. Shock also gets traded out there. Eames getting low towards the choke. Nevo getting air shot there from Gink. Absolutely amazing frag from him. We are seeing Tomas now on towards Kunu in the choke. 110 on him as he turns around, frags Gink. But Kunu getting taken down for his troubles there. And there's going to be Ascent winning that mid.
That was a really chaotic mid overall. Like, everyone was getting bombed. Eames got rushed by a single scout, and he just had like 0 health. And he wasn't putting down stickies in front of himself because I just think he figured, that scout's not going to continue going forward. But no, he was. And then eventually That scout got cleaned up, but that meant that Eames was out of the fight. And then we had the double sorted bombs, both taking out the medics, and no one was getting heals. And then it just kind of ended up with Ascent having slightly more players alive at the end of that, managing to take it despite the Kuno hitting some nice shots. But or Elektro, they are just being aggressive in big door, and they've sent in a soldier. Looks like he's thinking twice about that. But here comes the soldier from the other side. He was actually behind lines, it looked like. And he's just going to make it out. All right, and then Gink will be the only sacrificial lamb in that whole fight.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you were paying attention to this game, you would have realized that Domo did have a 25% Uber advantage because Shock spawned with no one and didn't have anyone to heal for a considerable amount of time while Domo spawned, and they did get that advantage, but now they don't have it anymore. And it looks like Elektro just pegging it in. Shock just legs it in. He's like, I'm in, boys, as he runs in towards mid. Now getting on that high ground. Is eating a ton of damage, though, but doing some good jukes here, but does, in fact, drop to the sticky bombs of Lucas Stank as he just layers them up underneath his feet. The pop now comes out from Domo. This is okay, as they are going to be able to start making their way forwards, but there is one scout in lower, I believe, which is Nevo, and he's just sort of chilling out there. Now gets spotted out. Kuno actually gets cleaned up as well. 2 frags, and they are going to be gone. That is late deaths for both scouts from Aura.
Yeah, indeed, they're not going to be able to have any presence here in second. That one's obvious. The Uber advantage isn't that big, but kind of a disturbing trend that I've been noticing is that Eames very often just gets left alone. Like, once again, he was kind of left on his own little island and gets taken down very easily. And which is kind of weird to me. It always seems like demo men are just playing with the combo so much these days. They always have a scout and a medic ready to defend them if they really need to. But Eames seems like he's much more like a roamer demo so far in this match, and it hasn't worked out too well for him. He just gets taken down. Soda tries to make his way in there, but the Amarok gets completely denied. Both roamers do the classic roamer trade, and so far this oh no, Shock drops again to the pipe from Lucas.
You hate to see it. Lucas Stank is on an absolute tear in this game. These explosive classes for the side of Ascent really popping off. But Eames now getting caught on the launchpad area. Does he get a ton of damage? Gets absolutely pressured so hard that they just cap out the point from underneath their feet. And that is going to be 5 to the side of Ascent with 2 minutes 43 left on the clock. And I hate to say it, but I don't think there's time anymore for Elektro to mount a comeback.
No, not quite, but there's still a lot of time to build momentum. And you always want to end off a map just having a good bit of a feel for how the game is going, right? Like, you want to go in there feeling that you can definitely just beat them if you just keep doing what you're doing. So if they can win some mids here, that's going to be really good for them. So far, they're actually quite a far ahead on this mid. They've killed 2, they only lost their medic. And there we go, they do get the enemy medic. Like 5 combat classes against 3 is pretty good.
I do believe we just witnessed what is to be known as the submarine, as you send your medic and your entire team under and bum rush big door. I love it.
Oh, that's what I call the crab strat. You just stay down there and you just nib at them and just try to bait them down into you. And then you just take them down. It's like one of the dumbest mids ever, and it's awesome.
It's one of the most beautiful mids you've ever seen. It's comparable to the big crunchy on Snakeball, where you just bum rush into them straight away. I love that too. I like any mid where you just launch at them. It's just far more fun to watch. But since it is now, we are now entering garbage time, Visa. So as we will see what will transpire during this crazy period of Team Fortress 2, known as the garbage clock, and Amarok and Azunis now making their way through a drop down.
He has fallen down and he can't get back up.
No. Lands a pipe with the Tomas, nearly kills Domo, and not going to find anything else. Does get just absolutely nuked by Gink.
Yeah, and Shock also got taken down and choked by a soldier. So this is looking pretty bad for Aura Elektro right now. Ascent, they're gearing up for a last push. They're going to have an Uber for it. They have a soldier in Riverside already. He could go into water. It looks like he's not going to quite do that. He's actually going to take a 1v1 with the soldier and just get out of there. Okay, Nevo just went for the hero play. Actually did like 50 damage to the medic there. And here comes Azunis as well. Okay, medic's just alone. Domo was just like alone in a corner.
Look, Domo doesn't need a team when he's got his own back to carry off. But it looks like they are now popping the Super in towards last. And it looks like they might get another round on the clock here. Here you go. As it now comes in with tons of cap time. Tons of pressure onto the point. That's going to be a cap coming out from the side of Ascent. That's going to be 6-2 as the final score of this game with only 14 seconds remaining. And it's going to be GG's in the chat. Both teams being very, very good team players and very sportsmanlike from both of these teams. So GG, well played to both teams. And it's going to be 6-2 on the final scoreline. So there's going to be 3 points already for the side of Ascent. Coming out of this official, you've got to be happy if you're on the side of Ascent.
Yeah, absolutely. That was very dominant, at least first half of that, and that's kind of what they carried it off. And then also they were able to stop the momentum of Elektro at the end there, because Elektro, they got 2 rounds in a row. Got to give them credit for that. It's always difficult to pull yourself back up like that, but at the end of the day, Ascent just seemed like the much stronger team. And I'm looking at some logs right now, and they kind of confirm what I was saying, which is that Eames is just dying way too much. All right, because Lucas, he went 21 and 8. That's obviously amazing. And then we have Eames. He went 9 for 15. So he had quite a lot of damage. He had quite a lot of damage. So I'm not too interested in the kills. It's more the deaths that really stand out to me.
Yeah, indeed. Some deaths along the way can mean a lot, especially on these crucial classes, like Demo Man and like Medic. If you see more deaths on either one, chances are you're probably losing the game, because as soon as you lose your Demo Man, that's it. You're probably losing a couple points, or you're losing 1 point, or you're failing a push, or you're failing a hold. And Demo Man is so crucial in this map, which is why Lucas Tank is absolutely nuts, and I love watching him play the video game.
Yeah, he's a guy that must be contained. And like Ascent, they've been very good at just isolating Eames and then picking him off, and maybe that's something Elektro should try to do as well. The scouts have actually been playing pretty well, so that hasn't been an issue at all, I don't think. And Gink hasn't been like destroying them or anything either, so he's been pretty well contained as well. It's just going to be a matter of trying to take down that combo, because Domo has been surviving too much, and like Lucas has obviously just been allowed to just run wild and do whatever he wants. I can't quite see his damage per minute because it counts the pause. So there's like an extra 7 minutes in this, so the DPM is not quite true. It's definitely like, I would guess it's like 350 if I had to guess, on Lucas.
Yeah. Well, the key stat that we haven't talked about, however, is the 7 air shots that Pappy got in that game. So he takes away the gold medal. I believe Pappy went absolutely ham this game. Really sort of showed off how good he really is. I reckon he's my kind of man of the match. He just kind of went ham during all these games. Made tons of space for his team, got the frags that needed to be got, and then just died straight afterwards and showed a thumbs up as he was heading to the grave during this game. So well played from him, I believe. But like he said, Eames only finding 9 frags and 15 deaths in this game. Maybe spelling a little bit of disaster, but the high level of deaths from both these soldiers, and Shock coming in at 11, Domo with only 7. I mean, I think that spells it out to you completely. And now I'm done with looking at numbers beat, as I'm gonna just say what I say to my my meme team when we lose. Who cares, lads? We've got another map covered. It's fine.
Yeah, and it's a pretty different map to Gullywash. Gullywash is this pretty compact map where you can like push off of the small advantages, whereas Sunshine is a much longer map, kind of in the vein of Snakewater, where it's it kind of feels like a mix between Snakewater and Process in the way that it plays, because it has these long distances that you have to get in off of, but at the same time it also has these very like small chokes that gets a lot of focus from everyone, right? We're actually going to change servers. As Ascent apparently not happy with the server that they just won on, so we're going to jump to some other server where Shock presumably has even higher ping.
I mean, I don't know if you saw the ping from, I think it was Azunis or Amarok. I think it's Amarok, actually. Amarok had like 7 ping for that entire game. It was incredible. Yeah, that's some of the best ping I've seen in a while.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure that the server we just played on is probably just like located in a shed behind Amarok's house. That's probably what was happening there, which is like the best feeling ever. I used to play on this Danish server that was located like right across the street from me, so I would play on 5 ping on a pub server. It was great. I miss those.
I bet you do. So one talking point for me about Sunshine is I believe Sunshine is the map of coordination. If you are more a lot of maps like that, however, I know, of course, but coordination really shines on mid fights in Sunshine because it's such a wide and such a tall mid. There's very limited bombs that you can pull off on this mid fight. So I think it's whichever team is more coordinated. But I actually believe that Elektro do have the coordination it takes to really show up against Ascent. So I think Ascent are probably better on the skill front, but I still think that Aura are going to do a good showing on the Sunshine beta. What do you think?
I think you make a good point. The organization part of the game was not bad for Elektro at all. Like we saw all these last holes, they all went pretty well. Like the Ascent, the way they put on a ton of pressure in Riverside and on these last pushes, like Elektro, they were able to just contain that pretty easily every single time. And that was just off of having really good team coordination and knowing exactly where to hold and who's covering what. So I feel like that's going to be kind of fine. The mid fights were also pretty much a toss-up. It was pretty close overall in general. So if Elektro, if they can win some mids, and if they can just keep themselves together and then get some good last pushes going, and just maybe even get a bit of a head start on Ascent, I feel like they can very easily just slow down the game and have a really good chance of actually winning it. So, all right, it looks like we're going to change servers again.
It looks like Storm Kiara is really annihilating the Brits as Gink, Pappy, and Domo all have 120 ping.
Did they pick like a Ukrainian server or some weird?
I don't know. Oh god, it's interesting to witness these players try and figure out which server they like. Maybe go with French server. I think they had I think this might be a. What server is this? Is this a German server or a Danish server?
I have no idea. I don't understand why everyone doesn't just use German servers. Germany is placed in the middle of everything.
It's even, right? Just wait until we get UK servers. They'll be really bad.
Oh boy, yeah. Like you're gonna have to, like imagine like playing on UK servers already is kind of bad, but imagine once you're gonna have to like pay a tax on every time you send a packet. That's gonna be terrible.
God, I'm getting flashbacks to when Sunshine got added to the season and when Seven were forced to play it on I-63 because we didn't have Sunshine in the main season is one of the main reasons why they lost the grand finals at I-63. Do you remember that beta?
Oh yeah. That was pretty good.
Oh, remembering all that time back to times of 9 when Sunshine was a less relevant map, but now that we have it and we've played it a whole bunch, played it for a whole year, I think Sunshine's one of my favorite maps. I'm going to be truly honest.
So why is this? Why do you like it so much?
I just like the potential. It's like Gullywash, you know, like you've got a ton of options for pushing last, holding last, pushing out of holds, getting sacks in, sniping, off classing. It all works, and that's why I think Sunshine is one of the more dominant maps, and it's not just a copy pasta of Process.
It does seem like most new maps these days that are 5CP, they're just like shades of Process. It's pretty funny. I mean, this is kind of too, in the way it's structured, but yeah, it's different enough. The only thing I really dislike about this map is that they nerfed the flower area. Like, it used to be that there was this wall, like a wooden wall that you could jump across. That's now just been replaced by like a solid building that you cannot jump across. And
Yeah.
it used to be so much easier to actually catch out people because you could jump across that wall. And that was like my favorite area in any TF2 map, was just that whole flower area. Because it was so much fun to play in there, and you can catch people out and just make plays for days. Now it's a little more muted. It's still a very good area. It's still like the most fun area of the entire map. The thing I mostly dislike about Sunshine is like the last point and how difficult it is to push into and out of. It's just, it tends to bog the match down where you spend at least 18 of the 13 minutes just pushing or holding last.
Indeed. I mean,
So,
it's where you see teams shine, though. Really, on these lasts is when you've got a difficult last to push, which teams have been really, practicing it as much as they can. And there are a few things that you can do in terms of creativity with your bombs, where you skip jump a soldier in through right, or you can just like commit to a push on the left side, and then you sack one across, or you jump through lower. And there's like all that kind of stuff you can just do, like similar to Gullywash, where you send like a player in through water, and you commit to a push somewhere else, and then you sack from another place, and you get that chaos going on. You can do sort of the same thing on Sunshine because you've got those two entry points, unlike maps like Reckoner, where you've just got like essentially two main points and then a side door, which is just kind of crap.
yeah, it's pretty difficult, but you know, I've seen some teams have really good success, and there are once again also some pretty good areas where you can put on a ton of pressure. Like you can send people in through the lower pretty easily if you have other areas kind of distracted and just bound into some sort of fight that they have to take. So it's pretty easy to get your players in there. It's just like Sentry Gun are so good on this last hold. It's really crazy. But,
yeah, Sentry Gun is so good. I totally agree. I believe the heavy class also kind of nuts. I've seen some pretty PogChamp brass beast heavies, not gonna lie, on Sunshine. So that explains my whole experience of Sunshine. But welcome back everyone to season 35 of Premiership for week 2 between Aura Elektro and Ascent.EU for Gullywash and Sunshine week. And Ascent.EU winning out the first map on Gullywash, so coming in Sunshine. Aura Elektro was something to prove as they are now making their way into mid. Both demos equaling on HP, but Eames slightly lower. But both demo men going to catch arrows from their respective medics, and they are just going to be mirroring each other on this mid. The team coordination I was talking about before, both separating out towards the flowers area, just trying to get a bit of room, but we are seeing the bomb counter first, the counter bomb from Azunas as well, but tons of damage onto Shock with a nice surf there on towards flowers, and Tomas is on the chase, but tons of collapse coming out from the side of Aura Elektro there, as they now have all packed like sardines into flowers.
Yeah.
Yep. But high ground now taken from Gink here, but Domo and Classy going to be leaving, but Gink is now hiding actually. No one spotted him out. He does see Shock, but he drops down on top of him, whiffs the rockets unfortunately, and does get cleaned up there. That was a really good opportunity, but just whiffed it at the end.
That was a beautiful mid, just to kind of underline everything you were talking about Aura Elektro. Just the coordination. Like Shock did a surf, which he kind of had to take, and he ended up in the enemy flowers, and then everyone in Aura Elektro was just like, let's go save our medic. So they ended up with 4 people in the enemy flowers while the rest of the enemy team was on point. And they actually ended up just retreating out here. So Amarok's going to jump in, see if he can get onto the medic. He finds a demo man, but unable to land the last air shots onto him. So it's going to be down the player there. But yeah, really nice mid there from Aura Elektro, kind of making the best of a bad situation and winning the mid.
Indeedy, as we are seeing now the counter come out from Pappy as he does a loop-de-loop 360 and tries and is going to create her in the choke. Now that's some skill, boys. I don't think you've ever seen anything quite like it in your whole life.
No, if there was a second soldier in there, that would have been so much better. But they only sent a single one. I don't know if they feel like they need to keep a second soldier alive, or if Ging just didn't have like the buff or the positioning to come in and help. But now we see a ton of pressure coming out here from Aura Elektro. See 2 players from the cafe area and the rest of them in flowers. Actually, Soda's going to try to jump in there.
Oh
my god!
Gets arrowed down by Domo, but finds 2 directs onto 2 players, finding those frags. Absolutely epic gameplay for him. Pappy getting cleaned up as well, and it's going to force the send back. But Uber actually gets popped out from Domo as he chews up a direct and a sticky bomb at the same time, and has actually get forced. Emus blows them back into the shutter and says, no, bye-bye to your Uber charge. Fully revenge for Aura Elektro.
That was all Azunas. Like, he had no business winning that. Like, he shouldn't have gotten 1 kill, but he got 2. That was absolutely crazy. So, and then Aura Elektro just immediately pushed in off of that advantage. Really great job by them. And they're actually going to be rewarded with a full Uber advantage when you go into this last push. Looks like they're going to go through the right side with this Uber.
Indeed, as they now pop in immediately, getting some damage onto the sentry gun. They are going to start sticking up towards the left-hand side early on. The Pyro on the right shutter here, but no pressure towards points. We do see Tomas on the heavy. This is some good kiting of this Uber, but unfortunately, players going down. Not a lot really happening apart from that Classy now running out with Domo. The Saw is out as he does find the Saw, but doesn't get the Uber, and that is going to be 1-0 to the side of Aura Elektro, really showing their team play in this game.
Yep, everything we wanted to see from them, they are doing right now. This is perfect play from them so far. They've got the momentum, they got a round up. Now they're going to be able to play their own game much more. They're very like 7 in that they're much better when they're playing from ahead. And they don't have to catch up, they don't have to rush themselves. So this is looking so good for Elektro.
Yeah, I totally agree. As we are seeing now, both Demo Men coming into mid, same as last time. Both of the teams going to be mirroring here. Probably sending a soldier off very soon towards Flowers, as they are now just sort of mirroring each other. Tomas getting the first one with the aggression here onto the bell tower area. Jumping across now, Pappy getting some room for his team, as we are seeing both soldiers mirror completely towards the choke. Azunas now in with the bomb on towards Pappy, finds that frag story onto Gink, and that is going to be Classy also getting taken down there, but Amarok now in with the bomb, Domo getting low, and he's going to be running out of the mid there, but tons of frags on the other side there. It's just going to be Eames and Shock on this mid, but Eames is onto the medic, does take him down, Domo gets cleaned up there, and Shock getting taken down at the end. That is going to be a full wipe for the side of Royal Elektro, but Medic's getting fragged.
Yeah, huge clutter from Eames. It was a pretty weird decision, actually. He left his own medic, and then he went to get the enemy medic, but like as a result, like Shock 100% dies. So I think he figured that, well, we're dying anyway, we're not getting out, so I might as well go for the play, and it worked out for them as much as it could, at least with the given situation. Shock and Domo, they're going to spawn at the same time. I don't see a Kritzkrieg on Domo, and I assume not on Shock either. He is on crits. All right, so this is like pretty classic crit situation. You're probably going to have to go for Flowers with this, maybe. I mean, we have seen the Shadow Burn crits from Cafe. So maybe that's a thing that we can expect to. Looks like they are going to go Flowers with this, but this is going to be all about hitting that crucial first crit sticky.
Here we go, as they're making their way around. It might be an immediate pop here as Eames receiving the Kritzkrieg. It's going off, it's going somewhere, it's going absolutely nowhere, and it's got 0 frags. There you go, Kunu finding a frag with 1 shot that he fired. But that is going to be, unfortunately for Eames, that is 3 of 3 Kritzkriegs that he's failed this season, unfortunately.
Yeah, it might be time to give it to Amarok or something. But here comes the counter push in here with the full Uber. Soon is going to try and see if he can pressure the medic to pop there, but Domo, he just sidestepped it pretty easily. And Eames, again, completely left alone. This is shades of last game. Not what you want to see with your demo, man. You wanted him to be alive and setting up traps to slow down the enemy gamers, but as it is, everyone has just gone down. It is going to be an easy second cap, and looks like Shock will get his Uber, but that's the only bright spot so far.
Indeed, but they're now coming through with this as the Kritzkrieg gets popped out. Actually, Pappy shots him into the floor, and he gets sticky bombed as soon as he touches it. And that is going to be Eames taking tons of damage onto that shutter, insanely low right now, but managing to sticky off for his team as he's getting low. But Tomas now with the cleanup, Nevo on the point. Shock now, swords are out. He's going to go for him, but doesn't find anything. Gets the bottle from Lucas Stank, and that's going to be 1-1 for Ascent to tie that one up.
Good comeback from them. That was just all about that failed crits, and then they couldn't get back out in time when Ascent came back in there. Like, Eames being that far in and just, like, he wasn't close to getting out. He wasn't even trying to get out, it looked like. And everyone else from his team, they were way out of there. So that was pretty weird, and I really hope we don't see more of this from Eames, where he just gets left in completely alone. But yeah, 1-1 here. So now it's anyone's game.
One thing to mention is both demo men rolled out Flowers this time. Perfect mirroring once again from both sides. But Eames getting in through low on top of Domo once again, does double pipe him, takes him down. Lucas Tank with a counter pipe there to clean him up. It's going to be all in for Shock to see if they can find anything. Pappy with the high bomb, straight onto Shock, lands a decent damage. Scattergun in the air, takes him down. That's going to be a wipe. And then Ascent.EU crushed them in the corner.
Yeah, that was just like a complete sandwiching right there. It was just players in front and the back just taking everyone down at the very end of that. But the mirroring so far has been completely extreme. Every single mid, it has just started with you saying the word mirror.
It's the same every time.
Yeah, they do
Somehow
exactly
they
the
knew.
same
They
thing.
read each other's minds and they rolled out Flowers. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. It's completely similar every single time. And this time around it favors Ascent, so they get that. Both medics go down, however. Domo has this teeny tiny advantage that I don't think they know about. They could go for the dot push. I kind of like whenever you have medics spawning somewhat at the same time. I just try to make sure that I build really well, and then I want to just do a dot push. And I don't know, like 40% of the time it works, and other time, like hopefully you can just go back out, you know.
indeed, as we are seeing now, the pressure onto the sentry gun before they decide to try and make anything happen. But it's going to be even Ubers. Nevo's sentry gun does get taken down there, and looks like he's going to immediately put one back up. As I did say before, Nevo has spent a lot of time this season playing the engineer class, and he's back on it again.
He's going to be absolutely Super Saiyan at it once the season is over. But Classic tries to go in there. Eames will catch him out. And then Nevo even takes down Pappy, who was trying to jump in. So now it's going to be a matter of can they make their way out there. Having an engineer when you're trying to go for a counter-sack is obviously not optimal right now. But they have made their way in here. They've opened all the shutter doors. So now it's just a matter of will a soldier actually feel like jumping. And it looks like Amarok's going to answer yes, but he doesn't go for the medic. He goes for the Demo Man. We were talking about this quite a bit, so maybe they were listening to us, and oh no, as soon as goes down, he lost the banner in the process as well.
Oh, Kuna gets cleaned up as well. Absolute disaster for the side of Elektro. They lose 2. This is going to open up an opportunity here for an Uber trade in towards Lasters. They do send in Pappy immediately. Dodging out that sentry gun, but Pappy gets fragged immediately. The pop now from Shock. Great use there from him to not drop that Uber as he was going to get splashed against the wall. Soldier chucked high, but Amrock gets cleaned up immediately by Tomas. That sentry gun does finally get taken down there as we are now seeing Nevo with the crits. Doesn't find anything, unfortunately. Cap time for Tomas. And that is going to be another round to the side of Ascent.
They're really finding their groove right now. This is looking much more like the Gullywash game. And it's just so well just coordinated by them, and they're able to just put on a ton of pressure and then just play off of that. It looks really organic. It doesn't look like it's pre-planned anything Ascent is doing. It just looks like they're able to just stay in the moment and just keep everyone alive and then play off of small advantages really well. But that's going to be 2-1 here. Do we get another mirrored mid?
Nope, not at all, as they're now trying to crush each other on the same side of the mid, as we do see bombs now come out from Azunas, tons of damage onto Lucas Tank, as he nearly dies there, duking out these pipes, tries to duke a rocket, but does die immediately. And Domo and Classy now going to be running out of this mid, and that is going to be Aura Elektro winning that one out.
Yeah, they did a really good job of just absorbing those soldiers, getting everyone that kind of halfway jumped behind them just got cleaned up by the scouts super quickly there. So very convincing mid from Aura Elektro. Luckily, Domo was able to just identify that and grab a scout and just get the hell out of there. So they're going to have an even Uber, and we could actually see some banner stuff going on here. As soon as is one of those soldiers that really likes to go for it, and you know he is the roamer, so he can just do a jump in there. Sentry gun has gone down. That's going to open up the doors to go in here. Can they go for the suicide play? Or are they even going to go for it? I don't know. But there's a pyro and a sentry gun. Sentry gun's not quite up yet, but the pyro's definitely going to hold people back quite a bit.
Not sure the decision making behind the degreaser, maybe just memes and dreams, but you do get less air blasts out of the degreaser, which means you do have to go back for ammo more often. So, you know, losing out on 2 air blasts can be sometimes a big deal, you know, when you've been air blasting for sheer glory. And interesting to see why he's picked up this one. Maybe for the flare gun combo, like Nevo, you know?
Yeah, I think that's what we're going for here. Just got to get those cool flare guns. I don't think I've seen him switch to his secondary, which is weird. Like, whenever you switch to the degreaser, it's really automatic.
It is flare gun.
It is flare gun, alright, because everyone I have ever seen equip the degreaser, they will switch to their secondary every 0.2 milliseconds. Just all the time. It's like, click, 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 all the time. And it looks like they're going for it. Amarok actually tried to go in there, so maybe he's going to... Oh.
Azunas caught as well. Does manage to jump into lower. It's very scuffed. It's so scuffed, but he gets out. What
wow.
the hell?
The flower pot brain just wins through right there from Azunas.
I just watched it from the stream perspective, and the rocket just skimmed past his face.
Yeah, he shouldn't be alive. Like, he basically got a haircut there by rockets. But he makes it out, and do we see Amarok on a banner? We do not. So we're just going to be settling in here for another, like, pressure onto the sentry gun, and then probably another sack.
Yeah, I mean, it's the cycle of Team Fortress 2, you know. It's the circle of life, as some would say in Team Fortress. Jump in, die, rinse, repeat. But yeah, the sentry gun up on the left-hand side here. Interesting position there from Classy, actually. I've not really seen it up there very much. I've usually seen it on the ground, you know, like...
Yeah, this
just
is like
next
the
to
Gullywash position, almost, right? Where you just use it to blast back any aggression on the left side. So, yeah, this looks like a Gullywash hold. The way this is all set up. So that's pretty interesting. We do have a banner on Gink. Conch, right? And that is... I'm not sure. You can see on stream how much built it is. I don't think it's quite there yet. 56. Alright, so it's halfway built. It's cool. We got the cheat sheet in the form of an observer. That's good. They can tell us how far it is. just make the sound of a giant giraffe whenever someone has built a full conch.
Thanks, ArchRhythm. Azuna's also up on the conch as well. Both teams going to be building these banners up. Maybe go for a trade in towards the sentry gun, kill the sentry gun with the trade, and then pop out banners to repush. Usually a common strategy. I don't know how the mechanic works with skip bombing a soldier into a sentry gun. Does it react fast enough to still shoot them? Or can you like fly right over it? I assume it locks on and it kills you.
Yeah, probably. I think that's how it works. All right. Do we have?
I want to see someone try for science.
Where's our spy? He's in the corner, but he's just standing up in that doorway. He's getting ready for it. It's very dangerous right now. They need to just occupy this pyro. He's actually not spy checking, so they don't really suspect it. Oh, now he's doing it. Now he's doing it. Maybe he lost his window.
Nevo is licking his lips because Domo just has his back permanently turned. He's found the spot. Nevo is in the spot. He's in the spy spot.
Yeah, I didn't actually know about this. I didn't think you could stand on that.
Yeah, that's where I stand when I know they have a spy, like on the medic class. You just sit there with your back against the wall, yeah. It's really easy to sack into.
Oh, here he goes!
He's moved forward, gets the backstab, gets the frag. There's going to be a drop coming out from Domo. Immediate push as the sentry gun gets cleaned up as well. The pyro gets annihilated, and this is an insane push. Both banners popped out from both sides. Yeah, Lucas Tank now sitting in the corner there, chewing up the damage. But the black box also heating up Gink there on the point, but they are going to actually give that one away. And that is going to be Elektro finding another round on the board. Beautiful coordination from Elektro on that last.
Yeah, perfect timing there from Azunas. Just came in right when everyone else was distracted. Like, I think they heard the banner like, uh-oh, thing's about to happen, and then the medic just immediately died, and then we got the rare double banner fight, and Elektro won out on that one. So really great job there by Elektro. 2-2. This is just so close.
Indeed, Eames coming in slightly faster into this mid, but we are now seeing them try and just crunch into each other once again, but Amarok scuffs his jump and does actually manage to get out of there alive. A nice little rocket there to save his own life. And that's going to be Amarok now moving back. Azunas moving back as well. Everyone's having to get arrows, but this is just going to be a lead from Elektro as Eames getting killed there on the tail end of that mid. But it's going to be Tomas now moving in with the rest of his team in towards these scouts, just trying to pressure them out of this second point. Lucas Tank with a pipe onto Shock. They do find the frag onto Lucas Tank, but the damage may have already been done. The Shock does get cleaned up with a shutter, and he gets taken down. And there is going to be now an attempt of a collapse from Elektro as they're now bombing soldiers forward in towards Domo, but they are not going to find anything at all apart from maybe Gink.
Yeah, gotta avenge your medic there for sure. Really great pressure once again. Just Lucas hitting the clutch pipe and then some stray rockets. Just showing the power of team coordinated spam right there from Ascent. So taking down Shock, having a full Uber advantage on Domo. He just needs to not run into a sticky trap or a sniper bullet, and they're going to be good to go here. But they're just going to take their time, get everyone up here, and oh my God, Thomas almost dies before the Uber even comes in. But I'm sure he's going to be fine, and they're going to just go in with his Uber.
Yeah, we are seeing the sniper dot actually on the wall there, so if they don't pop around immediately, there you go, the Uber charge immediately getting popped. But Lucas Stack nearly dying to the sentry gun, doesn't he get the flash? Thomas now moving towards the point, loads of cap time from him, Heal Beam is actually on him to save his life. But it's going to be Domo getting cleaned up in slow area by Amarok, doesn't finally get taken down there. But why kill the medic when he's just used the Uber? Some focus fire going a little bit awry, but they've got the Putis up. He is now with 243 HP. HMS Put is not going down easy, he does finally get cleaned up there, and there's going to be a cap from Ascent.
Yeah, another really good team fight. It just seems like these extended team fights always favor Ascent. It's just the coordination and DM from them is just too strong in these kind of fights. Whereas anything that's sort of pre-planned or that you can just talk about before you do it, that seems to favor Elektro. But it is interesting how we've gotten some non-mirrored mids at this point. So both demos are rolling out the same way this time, but let's see if that holds up for the rest of it.
Yeah, it looks as if they are trying to mirror there. Amarok actually out position there, does have to move back toward the rest of his team, but Gink is in a prime position to make a play happen. Just waiting on that cafe area, tons of damage onto Azunas. Is now causing a huge distraction, gets a nice rocket onto Shock as well, but this is going to cause the distraction that is needed to get the team forwards onto the rest of the side of Elektro, and there's going to be Shock and Co. getting cleaned up there by Lucas Stan as he finds the pincer maneuver that was needed from the soldier, but it's going to be Azunas now hanging around in the flowers, and Kunu going to be escaping.
I mean, he does have a flower pot hat, so he's kind of just hanging out with his people right now. But let's see if he can actually make it in there. I don't think anyone realizes that he's behind. Maybe they do. They are being kind of skittish on the Ascent side. But Like, so far, as soon as he's just doing the T-Rex strat of just not moving at all. But it looks like he's finally decided to go for it, maybe? Oh, I think he's just going for Lucas.
Maybe. I mean, it could be the delay that they're looking for. He's now bombing in. Finds that. Oh, nice little airshot from Azunis. Manages to clean up Lucas Tank. This could actually hold the push. And that is going to mean Shock is now actually building his Uber by the spawn with Nevo. And it could mean that the push gets totally thwarted as 75% on the side of Shock. And it is going to mean that they will be able to hold this last.
Is he even going to get out of here? That would be insane if he also just gets out. Like, he's fighting a scout on their own second. Yeah, he gets out. That's beautiful play from Azunis. That is just big brain plays.
He's on lower as well. He might escape. If he goes towards Flower, he can leave.
He's being chased so hard. He has covered every single area of the map so far.
He's with his people. He's not firing rockets. It's very intelligent. Doesn't want to make noise. Okay, now fires a rocket. Is now moving towards second.
And if he gets onto the medic and gets the floor, that would be completely insanity.
It's now time for the snooker cast with Azunis. In Cafe.
What's he gonna do here? He's just waddling his way in. This is very
around.
difficult.
He's chilling out.
I haven't watched enough snooker to know how they cast.
Now goes in for the bomb, in towards the combo, and immediately dies. Epic gameplay.
I mean, he did a good try there, and there was a soldier dead, so that's was kind of his cue to go in there. Nevo's gonna go for the snipe there, only manages to hit a body shot onto the soldier. We do have another banner going on here for Amarok, so he's gonna try his best. This is not the best area to spam from. All right.
Oh. ArchRhythm has died. Okay, nice. So ArchRhythm's game crashed, so we're going to be radio casting this. It's a stalemate. Yeah, what else do you want to know?
Thank God. It's just a boring stalemate. Nothing's really happening. Currently, Ascent, they're trying to make their way into lobby, but they're being met pretty heavily by a lot of soldiers and snipers in there. Soldier is going to jump in very aggressively. Gink, he tried to make some headway. He gets Nevo down to 7 HP. He's actually healing up thanks to some unlocks right now.
Yeah, we are actually seeing, black box. I'm joking. I don't know what he's using. I wasn't even looking. But I'd like to see more black box conch. I really like that combo actually of weaponry. But we are now seeing the sniper class of Nevo as well. He's making his way into lower. He's aiming for a few headshots. He isn't really finding too much. He's now in the lower right area, but Domo is sitting in a corner and cannot be headshot, so there's not really a lot going on. But Nevo gets pressured and actually gets pushed out. The sniper class is no longer a threat. He's been pushed out back towards the last area. Sentry gun also up for the side of Elektro on their last, but Domo is very content to sit on second and do absolutely F all.
Yep, I don't know what Amarok's banner is on, but I assume that aggression that happened earlier was really good for him, because that meant that he could actually build some banner. And yeah, okay, Gink, he's actually gets taken down by a sentry gun. I guess he had snuck his way in there. Currently, this is a really bad position for Elektro, at least for as far as building banner goes. This is not very easy for soldiers to hit their spam right now, but the sniper is getting a lot of shots, and looks like Azunis went for the bomb, but not quite going to be able to find anything. But Nevo, he's getting so many good looks here.
Yeah, indeed. Nevo is getting some deep pressure, but does get now pressured on the shutter with his medic. The shutter on the second is getting pressured pretty hard by the side of Elektro. They're just trying to get through it, but Lucas Stank now sticking up that shutter area is going to just cause a halt and aggression. Nevo is in lower, just seeing if he can find headshots, but can't find anything. He's had a lot of opportunities to find headshots, but Domo is in a good position not to get a headshot. Now Classy up on the sniper, and it is now Ascent moving into the lobby area now, just so that they can see what they can find in terms of headshots. But now the team just trying to pressure together, just seeing if they can find any picks at all.
Be on Classy here to see if he can find the shot. He's got a pretty good. He basically snuck up on everyone. He's not being spammed out right now, and hits a pretty decent body shot onto a soldier right there. But now they know about him, so I don't think he's going to be able to get in there. Oh no! Actually, Eames does get taken down by Classy, while Gink was just getting pinned against the ceiling by a sentry gun there. We're kind of 1 for 1, but Eames going down is definitely problematic. That's going to mean that Classy's going to get so much space. And look at that. Capitalizes immediately. Oh my god, he's getting used onto the medic.
Okay, we're back in the game. ArchRhythm is back. I repeat, ArchRhythm has returned to video gaming. But now we are seeing Lucas Tan getting pressured really hard, Classy getting taken down there, and it is going to be, once again, another hole in this aggression, as we are now seeing as well. 81% conch for Azunis, and he's enjoying holding that one up, so the conch potentially coming out here in defense. Now moving up to 99%, is going to have that very soon.
Yeah, Nevo's going down pretty weak right now. And again, as soon as on a banner, it looks like, I don't know what his percentage is at, just let us know when it's relevant, Arch. That would be fantastic. Maybe I should... Oh, he has conch already. Alright. Okay, so now it's just a matter of when do they decide to use this, because, you know, you can just kind of pop it and try to use it for some suicide aggression going on, but it looks like they're holding on to it for now. Nevo going down. Oh, Eames getting picked off by Thomas.
Alright, so here's the play beater. Yes, Gink is already on it. He's on the left side, spamming out that gun. They do spam it out. Ubers are now getting traded in lobby, yeah. Beautiful. Looks like it's a much better Uber for the side of Ascent, and they are making their way into this last. The level 3 sentry gun is now getting pinned on the floor onto 1 HP. The sentry gun is so weak. Isn't getting taken down there. It's going to be a complete fail.
Shock goes down to Classy. Classy's just picking off everyone right now. Like, he got, as soon as, like, as he was blowing his banner, he just headshot him. Now he got the medic as well with the body shot, sorry. And the engineer just for good measure, so he is just fragging out.
Yeah, here we go there. Looks like they want to just come in through the left-hand side area here as they're now just bomb rush in. The team is now in. Azunis with the bomb in towards them. Does a ton of damage, but it's going to go straight to the shutter and Banny bind immediately. Amrock now coming out as well onto Thomas. But this push was so slow from Ascent. They just didn't go fast enough into the Aura Elektro side. They could have really had that one. So well played from Aura there to kite them out and make sure that they didn't give away a point to Ascent. But I think Ascent happy enough to keep this one. I mean, it is still 3-2 on the board, but they have full Uber advantage beater. So let's see what they do with it.
Yeah, I definitely think pushing in here is the right decision. I don't think you want to play the clock at this point, especially when there's only 3 minutes remaining and like the round would reset with more than a minute to go. So they have actually Ubered into Scouts on the point. It wasn't sticky quite properly, but he gets taken down eventually. So they got time on the point, but they're all just kind of pinned in the same corner while everyone else is just barreling down on them from Aura Elektro. So that's going to be a successful hold from Aura Elektro. Really nice hold right now, but can they also make their way out here? Because this is the situation where Ascent, they have really shined.
Yeah, I totally agree. Ascent have done a really good job of collapsing. Gink is looking for the bomb. He's just nodding backwards and forwards, trying to find an angle or listening for the call, as he's just still sat there. No one knows about him. He's a mirage to the red team. Doesn't get seen. In towards Shock. Gets a kill on Nevo somehow, but Shock pops out that Uber as well. Domo is already out of there with Thomas. Excellent gameplay from Gink there. And wait, did he? Is he still alive? He's still alive.
Yep, okay. Still back there.
Okay, and he gets tons of damage, but does eventually get taken down. But great play there, like you said, from Ascent.
Yeah, and Eames once again just kind of plus forwarded on his own and went down. So he's going to be completely absent from any fight here on last. He's not going to be able to hold down Choke. So now it's going to be a full Uber advantage for this. Oh, Domo goes down to Kuno. What a snipe. That is absolutely enormous. That's going to help them come back into this. Now or Elektro, they have a chance.
Absolute crack shot there coming in from Kunu. That was absolutely amazing from him, stopping that aggression entirely. But Domo's just got his respawner. Shock has his 70% Uber advantage to play with, and it looks like they are now going to be coming forwards here. Or Elektro finally being able to leave last for the first time in a little while, and looks like they are just getting crushed. Really high pressure now coming out from the side of Ascent as they are coordinated spam onto these doors, and they're just shutting Aura Elektro in. They have to heal up before they go back in. No overheals on the side of Aura Elektro right now because they've just been stuffed in, but the Sticky's on the shutter, who walks through that without checking with 2 players through the same shutter. That is a rookie maneuver if I've ever seen one, and that is going to be Eames and Nevo dying, and the same one. Shock also gets forced on last by Gink. Oh my word.
That went real bad real quick. That just so many things went wrong. Just the fact that he ran through that sticky shutter. Like, they knew that Lucas was looking at it, so just assuming that there's a sticky trap above seems really obvious, and yeah, they sent 2 through. That's really bad, and then even Gink making it away, and then, oh, no, Shock gets jumped as well. Like, this forward hold was very brave from Aura Elektro. They've been doing that a whole lot, which is actually really interesting. Kind of want to talk more about that, but they're going to be able to get this last cap here, 4-2, and yeah, that it was looking so good for Aura Elektro, and then they just kind of threw it all away. They're going to be kicking themselves.
Yeah, that's got to be annoying. I mean, they've got 1 minute 50 left on the clock, but I don't think that'll be enough time to do it considering the pacing of this game. But we'll see coming into the next mid, as this is the 7th mid of the game. And Azunis now coming in really fast into this mid is going to try. Okay, that's the most scuffed bomb I've seen in a while, and he's immediately going low. Catches an arrow there from Shock, and then baits a scout, actually, finds Classy. But Azunis bombing in once more, doesn't find anything at all. Lucas Tank in with a bomb on towards Shock, misses everything, and dies immediately.
You tried, Lucas. You tried. So, all right. Well, Elektro, they're just going to need to have the 2 fastest rounds in the history of mankind in all of Team Fortress 2. So here they go. They're going to need to get onto the point. They haven't done it yet. Teams, everyone gets taken down. A really nice bomb in there from Poppy. And they're just holding off the aggression. Oh, that scout gets directed. Almost catches the air shot as well. Kuno's in behind lines, but he is very weak and he's going to get taken down. So this is officially over. There's even Uber available now for Domo. I want to see him use it just so he has time to build another one and maximize his points.
Indeed. I also want to see that, but we are seeing Domo make his way towards the choke and eat some damage, and they're going to be heading towards this mid. GGs are being called from Elektro. They've decided they've had enough of this game, and they are happy to just leave it at that, and now it's going to be 4-2, but can Ascent get another round on the board? 30 seconds left on the clock. Lucas Tank is pressuring hard with the rest of his team, but does get cleaned up there. Uber getting popped out from Domo. Looks like they are now making their way forwards with the rest of the team. Nevo getting cleaned up in the back lines. RIP Log, says Azunis as he gets absolutely munched. And looks like Amrock also going to get taken down here. A few scuff rockets there, but they are going to be capping second. 12 seconds left on the clock. They're going to last. They're going to cap this one out, and it is going to be another round for the side of Ascent, finishing this game off at 5-2.
5-2. It all counts. We're not talking about the fact that 2 of the players had already left the server. That's not important.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant, completely. So yeah, not quite as clean this time around, but Ascent definitely bringing it out in the end there. And I'll say that Eames, he had a really bad game actually, but they were able to contain Lucas much better than they did in the previous map. So that's probably one of the big factors, but then Poppy just steps right up and does a ton of work.
I mean, Pappy was really showing off in these games. Like, in my opinion, he did a really, really good job in these games. He really sent it home for his team in a lot of situations, got tons of bombs off, hit a nice few shots, picked off players that needed to be picked off in isolated areas, and really showed the coordination that Ascent has. But I think Elektro, they didn't play too badly either. They did really, really well as far as I'm concerned on this map. Getting 2 points off Ascent is no mean feat. But Elektro probably kicking themselves a little bit because they're struggling to find points this season already.
Yeah, they're definitely feeling the struggle of Prem. So it's a very even Prem season so far, and it's been a bloodbath, and I think it's going to continue to be a bloodbath in Prem. And if you just have an off day, you're going to lose points, and that's just going to be how it is. So it's pretty interesting. I will mention that Asunas had a really great game, so he was definitely a big part of it. Like, he was fragging out. He top damage for his team, and he's an aroma. He got the least amount of heals, so very impressive stuff.
Yeah, when he got those picks on second that ended up being a round conversion, that was all Azunis. Like, that was really epic. Also, we had a few nice snipes from Kunu and Nevo as well. They did a good job when they were sniping into last. They got a bunch of headshots that caused another round to happen, so that was good from them. But
also classy.
Classy sniper. We saw a lot of good gameplay here, but both sides. But I'm keen to point out that Domo still dropped twice, but only died 6 times. So, Shock died 10 times, so maybe not mattering as much.
So if you're killing Eames, there's a good chance he's also dropping you.
Yeah.
That's just how you get him.
Unfortunately, Eames went 9-17 in that game. He once again did not have the best game in the world, but I still think he did work. Like, he made a lot of plays happen for the team, and was probably main calling the whole time. So, I mean, having that coordination from the man himself, the big Eames man, very, very nice for Elektro, in my opinion. But I reckon Elektro are going to be plain sailing now, because they've played against Ascent, they played against Egg, so now they've got statistically, or the lower seeded teams that they need to play against now.
Yeah, that's true. So they're going to be they look real bad now, but I'm sure they're going to just come rebounding back and be in top shape for the playoffs, because I still think they're going to make the playoffs without too much issue. But actually, let's talk to Kunu, because he is in here. So see if we can get his perspective on what went down in this match. So Kunu,
Hi.
yeah, commiserations. It seemed like a rough game. It seemed like it was a lot better on Sunshine, but like what happened on Gullywash, just to start at the beginning?
Well, I think the 8-minute pause kind of took a lot of people's energy. That didn't help to start with, because after that pause, we lost 3 rounds within about 5 minutes. But we can never get going on the mids to start with. Like the first 3 or 4 mids, Papi and Gink were dominating, which is fair enough. But once we gained control of that, we found our feet a bit more. But what can you do? You're already 4-0 down at that point.
All right. So what happened when you like? Why were you able to make that little comeback on the map? Why did you do better?
Well, they stopped going so aggressive, which I think was their downfall, honestly. Because every time they went aggressive, they won, and every time they didn't go aggressive after like the 3rd or 4th mid, we won. So I think it was partly us playing it smarter, and partly them not doing the mids that were working for them.
All right, and then you actually managed to get ahead on Sunshine. So, like, what was your mindset going into Sunshine, and why do you think you had some initial success?
Well, we had a complete mental reset after the first map, so we went all into it with 6 fresh minds, and I think we probably did that a bit better than them in the first 5 minutes. So we went 1-0 up, but we made a mistake going crits for that second round. Crits are something you probably shouldn't do when you're leading in a game, even if there is 25 minutes left. So we kind of threw that a bit, but oh well.
I mean, the crit streak is a respectable play still. Like, you know, if it works out, it works out. But it's very touch and go. You know, with crit streak.
It's way too risky when you're leading. There's no reason to do it. Honestly, it was a mistake.
Big mistaku. Anyway, so you mentioned that Papi and Gink did a decent job in those games. Me and Beta were saying just how wonderful that they were playing. What's it like playing when your team is being pressured into a corner? Is it just like instant calls to fall back, or is it like trying to find the space that you can?
Honestly, it shouldn't be that difficult. I think we just make it look difficult.
You think?
I think so.
Oh, I think a lot of respect.
I think, as good as Lucas, Gink, and Papi may be, the sort of choke points like Gullywash choke and Sunshine choke, Sunshine flower, that sort of thing, it should be easier for the team trying to get through when they have a number advantage like that. But I just think we're not very good at it yet.
Well, we thought that you guys did an excellent job with your coordination on the mids on Sunshine, especially. We thought like your first couple of mids where you all protected shock. That was absolutely beautiful to sort of witness, and I kind of want to get your scoop on that. So, like on the mids, is it more important for you to make sure you're staying together as a cluster, or is it trying to coordinate a bomb when you're playing the Sunshine mids?
Sunshine's one of the mids where you generally have to be quite aggressive. Being passive generally doesn't work as a mid on Sunshine, so we were playing more to coordinate damage with our soldier bombs and Eames walking forward and stuff, whether that was over the left or the right side, and just leaving me to deal with Gink, pretty much.
Beautiful. Beta, any last ones from you?
Yeah, I kept noticing that it seemed like Eames was just getting like isolated and killed off, and that just seems to persist throughout the entire thing, which is kind of weird for a main caller to happen to him. So, like, do you feel like he just got focused really hard, or do you need to work better?
Knowing Gink and Papi, they probably said Eames is mine this game, so I'm sure that happened. But I don't know. We did feel a bit disconnected. I think maybe all 6 of us at some point during the game were not awake, and so when that sort of thing happens, people overextend, people underextend, people bait, people die when they shouldn't. I did that quite a few times, which I'm quite embarrassed about, but whatever.
It's man mode to admit it, though.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. So you guys now have an entire season to catch up with some results after a pretty rough start. But I'll just give you some shout outs and then we'll head out.
Shout out to the team. Just going to plug our fundraiser real quick. Go to teamfortress.tv and look at our fundraiser. Consider donating. Really appreciate it. Shout out to CPH for sponsoring the scene with the tickets again. And shout out to WeTube for messaging me within 30 seconds to be here to do the interview, even though I was already here. Bitch.
All right. And we should also shout out Copenhagen Games. They have just opened up for sign-ups for the tournament, and you can also get your rentals now. So that has all opened up. I think it's land.teamfortress.com, just to get an overview of everything. Otherwise, just search for Copenhagen Games TF2, and you should be able to get it. Or go onto the Discord. There should be links for everything there. And otherwise, just go check out Copenhagen Games, and we'll hopefully see you there. And definitely donate to all the teams going. We want to make sure of that. And also, I will shout out, I have 2 demo calls going. I have one for the ETF2L season, which you can find on ETF2L's website. It should be pretty visible on the sidebar. And then also I have a non-serious demo call going on, which is still happening. So feel free to submit to that as well. You can find that on Team Fortress TV in the video sections. But that's all I have to say. Lucky, do you have anything else you want to say? And you can take us out.
Big shout out to ArchRhythm for producing this game. I'm going to ask Arch, do you have any more shout outs or any shout outs from you? Okay, ArchRhythm says, shout out to his cat for not walking on his keyboard. Epic sauce. Shout outs to Siemens, shout outs to Copenhagen Games, and shout outs to the men in the club. So I will catch you all guys next time for week 3. See you later.